Hello everybody and welcome back to Cartooning and Character Design with the Essex Art Center. Again, my name is Justin Kettle and I'm excited to teach you guys another lesson about cartooning. Last week we talked about drawing different faces and facial expressions. This week we are going to be talking about drawing the bodies of our characters in something called gesture drawing, which helps us make our characters look like they're moving, give them different personalities, all that kind of fun stuff. This is what we'll be working on today. These are the characters we're going to be drawing. You can follow along exactly as I draw something or think of your own things to draw as I draw. You can pause, rewind, fast forward, do whatever you need, do whatever helps you learn how to draw these characters as best as you can. Things you'll need, again, just paper and something to draw with. You'll see me drawing in pen again today so you guys can see all the different shapes that I'm drawing a lot easier. If you'd like to draw in pencil, go over it with pen again later, and then erase, that works as well. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you all remember from last time, we started learning how to draw characters using basic shapes and lines and drawing details over the top. And the same principle applies when we're talking about bodies and gestures. Really, whenever we're cartooning, we always start with basic lines and shapes and we draw the details over the top. And so the most important thing to think about as we do this is something you all probably have drawn before, and it's the basic stick figure. All cartoons and characters can be boiled down to this basic stick figure shape using one line for the body, lines for the arms, and then shapes for the head, and we will also be using shapes for the rest of the body parts as well. A lot of times this is also called gesture drawing. A gesture is just sort of the basic shape or movement of the character. People use this in more realistic figure drawing as well, and we're going to use it today in cartooning. So we're just going to start with a basic character. And you all know by now I like to do this kind of rounded circle for a head. We'll begin with the head, maybe do the little cross shape, and then we'll start thinking about the body. We're just going to make kind of a cute, short little standing character. So I'm going to do one line for his body, kind of a curvy line, make it look like he's puffing his chest out a little bit. Then I'm going to think about what kind of shape I want his body to be, and I kind of want him to have a round little tummy that kind of tapers up into a thin neck up there. So we'll do a big circle down here and two curving lines like that. So now we've got the head and the body. We're going to give him two legs, and again, he's just going to be standing up. I'm going to do two little triangles for the feet down here. Then big circles to give him shoes, kind of big Mickey Mouse looking shoes like that. So we've got head, body, feet, and now we're going to give him arms, and we'll just give him, arms hanging down to the sides. Put a line there, a line there. Going to do two more kind of triangle shapes for the hands. And then for fingers, what I like to do, I like to give my characters kind of fat little round fingers. So we're just going to do some little U shapes for fingers there. More little U shapes for fingers here. And now we've got the start of our character here, and I'm just going to finish him off by giving him a face. Big circle for the nose, two little shapes for the nostrils. Those U-shaped eyes that I like to draw so much. Give him a big old smile, two nice little ears, and some hair up top. Alright, so we've got the basic starting shapes for our character, the basic gesture, and now we're going to go in and add that detail over the top. You all probably remember from last week how we did this with the face. So we'll do all those details, nose, eyes, and everything. His mouth, give him a little bit of a chin. Get those ears. And I'm going to leave a little space open at the base of his chin for his neck. There's his hair. All right. So now we're going to start adding the detail in here, and you might want to think about what kind of clothes he's wearing. Since this is our first character, we're just going to make him wearing some kind of simple clothes. So I'm going to draw two little lines going inward for his neck, a little U shape for kind of the opening for his neck and his t-shirt. And then what I'm going to do here, looking at this line for his arm, I'm just going to draw a little kind of open rectangle shape here for his sleeve. He'll just be wearing a basic t-shirt. Draw a big round U shape here for the edge of his t-shirt. Kind of finish off his body like that. And let's see, we'll kind of go into the arm here now. So I'm going to trace these fingers that we made, these kind of fun U shapes. Draw that up here, and now we're just going to add 2 more lines to connect it to his sleeve. And there we go, we're getting an arm looking thing right there. Kind of connect that there. And we'll kind of do the same thing we did for the sleeve of his t-shirt up here with his pants. So we'll do kind of a basic rectangle shape down here. U shape to finish that off right there. We'll draw in these big Mickey Mouse shoes like we talked about. So trace this circle, trace the edge of this triangle, add a U shape there, 2 lines for his leg, put a little patch on his shoe right there. So now I've got the front side of our character, and you might notice that I left these lines open here to make it look like his leg and his foot were connecting to his body, and I've closed the lines for his body over here. That's because when we close these lines, it helps us make it appear that he's sort of standing with one side facing us and one side turned away from us. So this arm and this leg are sort of set behind his body right now, the way he's turned towards us. So we'll think about, we want this side turns toward us, we'll leave the body open there, we'll close the body off here to make it look like he's turned away from us, and this arm and this leg are kind of set behind his chest. So we'll finish that shoe again, 2 lines for the legs, kind of trace that side of it, put a big circle there, little patch for his Mickey Mouse shoe. I'll trace his fingers here, 2 lines for his arms, and there we go. So that's kind of the basics, and all of these basics are going to apply to all of the other characters and body types we'll draw today. And like I said, he's kind of a very basic, kind of squat little kid-like cartoon character. You might be thinking, well, maybe I want to draw something different. Maybe we want to draw a big, strong guy. So let's think about that. We'll give him square head. And then we'll think about the shape we want his body to be, starting with that basic stick figure plan. If he's going to be a big, strong guy, we kind of want him puffing his chest out a little bit so he looks big and strong. So we'll do a big curve right there. And remember, we always use basic shapes, and if we want him to be really strong, we want him to look like he's got big muscles, so we'll make this big kind of triangular shape up here, so he's got these big, broad shoulders. Then we'll make him with his arms kind of sticking out like that. Add another kind of rectangle shape down here for his waist. 2 legs going down. And we'll make him barefoot, so I'm going to give him 3 little toes like that, just with circles. So we've got his feet, we've got his body. Now let's give him his hands. This is big and strong. We're going to do a series of kind of swoopy shapes like this, so kind of big teardrop shapes for his hands, other teardrop shapes for his arms. And we'll draw his hands right here. We're going to make him look like he's got a clenched fist. So if we think about a fist, we'll have the fingers all kind of curling together like that. So we'll do kind of a cylinder shape here, an oval shape for his thumb. And then we'll draw this little oval shape behind it. Another one next to it, another one next to it. So it looks like he's got a big clenched fist. And now we'll give him his face. Give him a little nose like that. We'll give him a beard. Just for fun, maybe he's a lumberjack. And let's see, we'll give him a baseball hat. Okay, so that's the start of the character, and we'll actually add a bit more shape to his legs here. And you can just connect these to the body with straight lines. I like to add a little bit of a swoop to the lines, so it makes it look like they've got more rounded body shapes like that. So there's the start of that character. That's the gesture, the basic shapes. Now we are going to go in and add the details. There we go. There's a big, strong lumberjack character. And we'll color in this belt so it's set off a little bit. So those are two characters in standing poses. Maybe we want someone in a different pose. Let's do someone running. And we'll give this person a triangular head. Why not? I always like to start with the head. I feel like it's a good cue for the rest of the character. And let's see, if they're running, we'll think about kind of the basic shape of someone running. You've all probably drawn a stick figure like this before too. Their arms are kind of curving in and out. Arms and legs kind of curving in and out like this. So we'll think about that as we draw this character. Triangular head, we're going to give him curving body that curves forward since he's running in this direction. They'll give him one arm curving this way, one arm curving this way, leg curving down, leg curving up. There's the basic shape. We're going to give him kind of a big round tummy. Connect that there and there. Alright, so that's a good start, and let's start with the feet. I always like to do triangles for feet. So if this is his foot, if his leg is kind of picked up like this, his foot is going to be kind of pointing up towards the sky. And we'll give him some square shoes. So we'll do a rectangle here. And this is a little bit tricky since his foot is pointing up like this since he's running. The shoe is going to be kind of turned away from us. So we're going to draw that rectangle like that. So it looks like it's sort of behind the heel of his shoe. The front is turned away from us. So there are his shoes. Give him some hands. He's also going to have his hands curled up in a fist because most people kind of curl up their hands when they're running. So if we remember, draw a little kind of oval shape, almost like a upside down number 6 or a number 9 right there. Then we're going to draw a few more, all right next to each other. So his hands curled up there. And it's kind of tricky drawing a hand. So this way, since he's running this direction, we'd be able to see all the fingers curled up like this. But with this hand, the hand would be turned away from us. So we'd kind of be seeing the back of his hand and his fingers curled away from us, kind of like we have with this guy here. So that gets a little bit tricky. What we do for that, we draw, again, kind of a little curving shape for his thumb. And we'll go ahead and draw those oval shapes like that, and when we come back and draw in the details later, we'll make it look like that hand is turned away from us. Alright, now we've got most of the body here. Let's draw the face using that basic cross plan that we learned last time. Give him some kind of funny floppy ears. Big pointy nose. And if he's running, maybe he's running away from something, maybe he's scared, so we're going to give him a big open mouth. Line right there for the teeth. Draw another line right there to connect the mouth together. Draw a little U shape right here for his chin or his lip. Draw 2 eyes. Eyebrows way up here because he's kind of freaked out. And we'll make his hair kind of streaming behind him. Okay. Now let's finish by drawing his legs. And his arms. we go. There's the start of our running character. Let's go in, add some detail. There we go, there's our guy running away from us, and a lot of times in cartooning, if someone's moving really fast or running or throwing something, sometimes you'll see lines like that. And you can draw those lines kind of in the motion, in the direction that he would be moving. So he's running this way, the lines are streaming out behind him, his arms are kind of moving up and down like that, so we can draw lines there and there to indicate that motion. There we go. That's how we draw a character in motion like that. And let's see, we've got a couple humans here, but maybe you're thinking to yourself, what if I want to start drawing some animals? And again, the same basic principles apply of drawing stick figures, lines, and shapes. Same principles apply to drawing humans, as animals, as any kind of creature you want to draw. So let's think. Let's say I want to draw a rhinoceros. So we're going to start with a big square right here. Rhinos are kind of big square creatures like that. Then we'll just draw 4 lines for his legs. Then if you look at a rhinoceros, they've got these almost triangular heads, but they kind of end in a flat snout right there, like that. So draw that kind of rectangle shape. This is going to be a view of the rhino from the side. We're going to draw 2 triangles for his horns. Or actually, just 1 horn. I think rhinos just have 1 horn. 1 triangle for his horn. We're going to draw a little U shape at the bottom right here to connect it. Draw some kind of diamond shapes for his ears. And let's see. Since this is a side view of the rhino, if we think about that cross shape that we draw for faces, remember usually the nose is right at the intersection of the cross. So we'll draw a horizontal line for that cross shape kind of going across his face, and his nose is right up here at the front. So we'll draw that cross right there. And then rhinos have, their eyes are set really far back on their face, and they're usually pretty mad. So we'll draw eye, big old grouchy eyebrow. We're going to draw 2 lines for that rhino's nostrils. Then make him really upset. For a rhino, they've got kind of a little, their lips come to kind of a point right here. So we'll draw a line that curves down. We'll stop and turn into a V shape at the very end to finish out that face. Draw a line that curves under for the chin. A little bit more in there. Okay, so there's the face of our rhino. Rhinos have these big old square feet. Big giant animals. And I'm going to draw some kind of teardrop shapes to show that rhino's big muscles right there. I'm going to kind of round that out a little bit. Give him a little tail like that. And then, you know, rhinos, they've kind of got, if you look at an elephant's foot or a rhino's foot, they've got these kind of squishy little toes like that. So we'll draw those there, just 3 little circles for the toes. Draw a couple back there. And then we'll give them a little bit of hair right there. I always think it's funny to give them just little tufts of hair on the top. You can probably tell. It's one of my favorite things to do. Anyways, there's the basic start of our rhino. Let's go over draw those feet. There we go. There's our kind of chubby rhino. Again, he's lacking a neck a little bit, but that's okay. So we've drawn, let's see, 2 characters standing, a character running. We've drawn an animal. Let's say you just want to go completely crazy. Say you want to draw some kind of weird alien monster or something. I'm drawing weird alien monsters all the time when I'm just drawing by myself. So I like to draw aliens with kind of big tentacles, kind of crazy octopus bug things. So let's see, we'll start with an upside down teardrop shape, kind of for the head and the body. And if we want tentacles, we'll just think about them as a bunch of individual arms. So let's draw some big kind of swirly, curvy shapes like that, going in all different directions. And then for this guy, his head and his body are just going to kind of be the same basic shape. So I'll start drawing his face. 2 very wide set eyes. Give him a mouth like that. We'll give him 2 little teeth. We'll just give him kind of 2 little nostrils right there. Okay. And we'll give him little claws at the end of his hands. So we'll draw kind of a little triangle shape like that. Draw 2 little triangles there. We'll do that for all of the arms that we drew. We'll draw another one right here. There we go, and let's give him 2 little antennae up on top. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky. It's also kind of fun. We'll just start with this face. Draw that in really quickly. All right, there's that guy. Now, for all of these arms, you can see they all get kind of tangled up in here. So what I like to do is I like to, again, pick one arm that's going to be in the front. So let's say this arm is the front arm closest to us. So draw these fingers, draw a little curve right here connecting them, line right there. And then we are going to draw 2 lines around this line in the gesture. So one kind of following it and one just outside of it. And that turns this into one big kind of long snaky arm like that. So that arm is going to be in the front. And now we'll pick another one. Let's do this one next. Draw those hands. One line kind of following along. Another line just outside of it. And now, again, it's easiest just to pick one arm to be in the front at first, and then every other one is going to be kind of set behind it, like that. So we'll just take it one at a time. We'll do this one. One line following. See, this line kind of goes behind this arm. That's okay. So we'll follow it to here, stop where it meets this arm, pick it back up again where it comes out from behind that arm. We'll draw that other line, stopping where it meets the other arms. You can see this line curves up here a little bit extra. So we'll just draw that extra little bit of arm right there, connect his head there. Right, there's that. And let's do this guy next. Following. And see, this line kind of comes up here and around. Oh wait, actually, that's this leg here, isn't it? Really gets confusing. So we'll finish it off with this leg. Line meets this arm right here, goes behind it, so we'll stop, pick it back up again right here. Another line just outside of it. There we go. There's our kind of crazy alien character. And we'll add little lines right here. Kind of look like the base of his body. There it is. So I hope you guys learned something today about drawing the basic lines and gestures as we start drawing the bodies of our characters. Keep practicing the facial expressions that we learned last week, and now you can start adding bodies, different shapes. I'd encourage you guys to start with just a couple simple people like this, maybe move into some animals, pick your favorite animal, try and draw one of those, and then maybe move into some kind of big crazy character like that. So I hope you guys have fun drawing your own cartoon characters, and I'll see you again next time.